Hi, I'm Tawanda Ewing, and this is Mindfull, a series where I draw from science, engineering, and personal experiences to give you an interesting perspective on everyday life. I hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, in life, you always have a plan, right? And it makes sense to plan because you have to think about what's coming ahead and that kind of thing. But more often than not, you'll find out that a plan actually never goes according to plan because life happens, life is quite random and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. So, alright, then we're trying to figure out what makes some plans fail and what makes others succeed. Let's agree to call a plan a series of steps that need to be taken to get from some current or present state to some desired future state. Now, according to that definition, a plan seems to give you some form of control over your life. Now, that word there, control, hints at a fairly simple tool that we can use to uncover the secrets of successful planning. That simple tool is something called a control system, more specifically, a feedback control system. Now, a feedback control system allows us to do so many useful things that listing all of them would take forever. But let's see how it works. For starters, we have something called a reference signal. This signal tells the control system what it is that we're actually trying to do. Think of it like an ideal goal. Now, the reference signal is compared to something called the output signal, but we'll just skip over that for now and get to something we call the controller. Now, the controller's job is to decide what actions need to be taken to achieve our ideal goal. These actions from the controller are applied to the plant, which is just a general term we give to anything that we're trying to control. And from the plant, we get the output signal, which is a true reflection of our attempt to control the system. The output is fed back into the system and compared with the reference signal to calculate your error. The error signal is then sent to the controller, and the controller produces actions to control the plant. And the cycle just goes on and on and on until we get as close to the reference signal as possible. Now, if you're a little lost, don't worry, because what I'm about to say next might just clear everything up. Alright, with this understanding of a control system, let's see how a control system directly applies to real life. To do that, we're going to have to link every part of the control system with some part of real life. For instance, let's say the ideal goal is to wake up every morning at 6 a.m. So you might plan on going to bed every day at 10 p.m. just so you can get your 8 hours of sleep and make sure you're fresh in the morning. Another easy one would be the plant, the thing that we're trying to control. That's obviously your life. So now we've defined the reference signal and the plant in a real life context. What about the sensor? We know that the sensor is something that measures or records the output and feeds it back into the system. When it comes to real life, I'd like to think of the sensor as your experience, because without experience, you wouldn't actually know what an output is. For example, you wouldn't know that you're getting up at 6 a.m. if you didn't know how to tell the time, or if you didn't know what 6 a.m. was to begin with. So your sensor is your pre-existing knowledge that allows you to tell something about the real world and understand the outcome of your actions. So now that leaves us with the controller. Now, what is this controller? I suggest that we think of the controller as the reason for doing things, our why we do something. If you look at the controller in this way, it sort of makes sense, because that means your plan is never really constant and changes as your plant changes. If you compare this to why we do things, you can see that the plan becomes irrelevant. As long as you know why you're doing what you're doing, you can always come up with a plan suitable for controlling the plant, and you never have to worry about staying on a fixed plan. So inherently, it seems plans are never actually meant to work. Plans are just there to sort of work for a bit and inevitably fail and then replan. But the process of replanning becomes very difficult if you're not completely sure why you're doing what you're doing. Now, I'm not here to tell you how to figure out why you do things, but I am here to tell you that think about it. Because if you can figure out why you're doing something, then the randomness of the world just stops affecting you. you somehow unlock this ability to always have control of your life through dynamic planning that's rooted in why you do things. Now I know I just threw a lot at you here, but trust me, sit down, watch this video again, and try and understand what I'm getting at. Because if it is what I think it is, I feel like this might actually be able to help a lot of people. Because I mean, it helped me, so I don't know. Give it a try. This video was brought to you by Umoja Urban Culture. Umoja Urban Culture is a store based in South Africa that specializes in Rasta wares and accessories. For more information, you can visit the store website at www.umojaurbanculture.co.za.